Or maybe Stockfish. I can't. Yep, I can confirm. It's on. Very well. Then welcome to Sunny Pro Games, game number 5. Happy to have you here. I'm going to stream. Actually, Leopard is going to stream for me, but he doesn't want to talk so much. So I will do the talking. Stream here. Okay. Then we switch to doing balance. I think I think Felix X and Borg are the strongest players, okay? Okay, then Weird Jokes, Borg, Havran, Felix X, Defcon, Irland. Nice rating for Irland, by the way. Good. Right now, I would say hard to tell even what team is better. Maybe team 1 is slightly better. Maybe we'll have a co-commentator also, that would be quite nice.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, and there's Yuldos with us, who is going to be the co-commentator and is going to bring...
Maybe you are the core, since you are the host of this. But
sorry, what am I?
You are the core commentator, and I can give some technical advice if you want.
I'm the co-commentator and you're the technical advisor. Alright, yeah. Fine for me. Okay, then maybe... how do we balance this any better? Maybe Havran. Suggestions for balance, please. What did we... Mare Victor for Victoria, okay. We can do that. Okay, seems like everyone is fine with the balance actually. I think balance is also not so terrible.
Let me check one last time.
I guess Team 1 looks somewhat stronger to me, but Felix 6 maybe is better than Borg.
Oh, no. Oh, come on, why did you start? I think Team 1 might be slightly OP, because you've got Havran with Jokes and Vic and Borg. In Team 2, you sort of have 2 strongs, and they have to carry Defcon and Mari. But Defcon is strong as well, and Mari as well, so I think it should be fine.
Yeah, I think Felix 6 and Irland are about as good as Borg and Weird Joke, so Borg and Havran. And then Defcon and Mother maybe slightly worse than Havran and Victoria, but it's not too terrible in my opinion. Especially as Defcon is quite good at rushing, actually.
Have already a pause. The jokes Ptolemies. What is this?
I should post the link to the stream again in spec chat.
Victoria doing auto train, which is nice. Or also auto training, but one woman at a time. I'm not sure what is coming. I've run this.
Don't know what exactly this poll was about. Doesn't matter. Game continues. And let's maybe introduce the players, starting with player number 1, which is Havran, who got the Romans. Then
This
his,
is going for the Paris first.
which sometimes makes a lot of sense because they might be done with those berries once Cav is coming. Is of course bad if someone decides to rush early. Then his pocket as the Morians is Borg, who actually has great potential for rushes with Morians also, but not really that great amount of hand. There's some hand though. Then the other pocket player is Victoria as the Persians. Then there is Weird Jokes as the Ptolemies. Like, I think in the last pro games he also played as the Ptolemies, not exactly sure why. I think they're not so great in this alpha, but maybe he thinks otherwise. Then there's Felix 6 as for the enemy team, and he's playing as the goals, should be pretty good for him. I mean, there's still fast booming Civ. Then there's Maya as his pocket as the Persians. We have Yeland, aka Stockfish. I think I can reveal that, because it will only be fair if I didn't let Inlord play the last time. And then there is as the baller player on the other side, Defcon. He actually sent some Cav out already to Havran and killed 2 women, looks like, or even 3. So this would be the risk not just paying off, as Havran had hoped, has to go back to his original berries. Of course, now they don't have a farm attached to them, especially in that like line shape. Distance to the CC gets quite big at some point, so a bit of a disadvantage additionally to the 3 kills. Of course, Havran is very clean boom, so maybe he can make up for it. Yes? Something you would like to follow?
I noticed that very few cavalry being produced. Only Borg has 3. He's only producing women, but he's making 2 barracks already, and that is quite unusual build order. He starts with only 1 woman at a time from the CC, which I have calculated to have the same eco effect as 29 women near batch at a time. So it's a bit powerful, but might be a bit slow at the beginning. Clearly he's going for some kind of unusual strategy with very early 2 barracks. But this might yield a good boom in a way.
I am not sure as well. You should have 3 barracks at some point, but so early you will have no resources to or not the wood to make so many infantry, no? I might be wrong.
He's doing fine because 1 at a time means you need less farm and less wood, right? So it's kind of okay.
But if we look, for example, at Ireland, who seems to have the fastest boom by now, with no barracks, already has 14 population more, that also should make some economic difference, no?
Yeah. We can see Mari is going for rush, and let's see who is he going to rush.
Okay.
So we have Weird Jokes and Victualia in danger. They are the potential targets now.
Tommy's always not super fun to rush because they can make slingers early, which are quite good at defending against the rush normally, because they have like a good combination of range and damage. I don't like archers sometimes because they feel a bit slow to deal enough damage against the rush.
But archers, you can start shooting from a far distance, and when they are trying to retreat, you can just snipe away their retreating cav who are injured, which is quite OP. So I'd say archers are pretty good at early game.
Well, in my experience, the distance, the additional distance the cav has to cover before they can do damage themselves doesn't usually make up for the deficiencies in damage output, in my experience. Rejox himself is going for 2 stables. Whoa, another creative strategy. Maybe he wants to get the Rush award again after he got 2 points out of awards, making him co-leader of the series.
He's kind of copying Hamdi's camel. Remember Hamdi doing this in Alpha 25.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay, Mari stopped hunting. Now he's going towards 3 jokes. Of course, Skirmisher have kind of good counter. 2 camels.
Felicis is not doing the auto train mode. That's quite unlikely.
He is partially doing auto train though. In one barracks he's doing auto train.
Yeah, and Stockfish has started auto training. He's got all of the women and he starts auto train, and he's at 84, which is 86 and 54 women. 85 inf, that's quite impressive.
DST?
In the meantime, Borg also has the leading infantry population, 25.
Borg always likes to go for early infantry.
And he's
In 1v1 he often infantry rushes when he gets to P2 around that timing. Okay, Ridgeox has taken off to go into Felix X base.
Okay, the Gauss, for the Gauss it would be a bit difficult to defend against 14 camels.
Yeah, they lack the ranged units. Also Felix X small miss micro where he sent 4 women towards the camels.
But Felix still at 80 pop, which is nice for 6 minutes.
Ridgeox at 14 camels though, and the camels of course should count more than 1 pop to give a realistic estimation about who is ahead.
Mari in Weird Joke space, so his eco will be disrupted. Weird Joke's trying to go back and defeat Mari, but...
Mari should go to the woodline, maybe. There's some women available for... Okay, but Ridgeox goes back. Okay, he tries to defend, he got scared of Mari, which... I don't know if I like. All too much. But with 17 camels he should be able to defeat the 7 skirmisher cav, actually. Especially with some micro where he sends the damaged camel back. Just 1 kill for Mari so far. don't think he's going to get another one. Okay, so this rush didn't go well at all. And good defense by
Oh,
Jokes.
well,
This
Felix-
fight should not have been taken.
Yeah, Felix is in danger now because Murray is behind in population, so he will be a slow pocket. And then he himself is a bit slowed down. Now, even though Weird Jokes has slowed him down as well, but got Victoria who has been booming all the time. And Victoria will become a sizable force after 13 minutes. Weird Jokes constantly harassing Felix's, so I'm not sure whether he can maintain this side or not.
And yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. Victoria usually also is quite solid, especially at things like booming.
Irland has 125 at 752, which is impressive, but the CC was idle for a moment, and that's why you should use auto train, though you are doing large batches. And we have small rushes by Borg on. It's not having great effects. On at 93. 65 women, that's a bit too many, I think. He's a little bit behind.
Okay, Behuda's or Felix's approach to defend here is making Skirmisher Cav, which is probably the best counter unit, a part of archers maybe,
It's the only thing he has.
and Spear Cav of course, yeah.
Sword
If he
Cav also very good against camels.
Indeed, but he would need to go to P2 for that.
Yeah, so his only thing is skirmisher calf. And it's just a matter of who can spam more calf.
Actually, a unit I've seen in defense against camels quite some time ago is the Naked Fanatics. For 23, when Camel Rush was kind of the meta and it was an OP strategy, I saw 1v1, I think, between Schweinepriester and Carthage. And Carthage's signature move was to basically always camel spam in every 1v1, and he beat some very strong opponents doing it. And the Schweinepriester actually managed to defeat it by adding Naked Fanatics to the mix. They're infantry, but they have, or had at least, incredibly high movement speed. Of course, that's an option for goals also, technically.
Having calf is not so good a counter in this alpha because when you turn away, you have this turn time and acceleration. But at this moment, the camels can turn around and shoot at you. So
Yeah.
you can't really retreat. And the camels can just go home and go into a bunch of slingers and you're dead. So, yeah.
Oh, we witness a really great defense play on Felix X here. Rejok's calf number really is still actually pretty high at 25.
I wonder why he is not shooting at the farms of Felix. He has enough range, right? He can just I don't know why he's not shooting.
But Felix X actually has maintained a big population lead, or actually increased the population lead, which
Yes.
shows the effect of the advantageous calf fights he had. So Rejokes didn't get to numbers of maybe, let's say, like 40 camels or something by that point.
Both sides took heavy casualties. Weird Joke still has slightly higher KD ratio though, but
That's from the early fights, though, I think. And now we see an interesting move, which is Felix X going for the attack. He sent his woodline forward.
Oh, I recommend he doesn't do that, but oh well.
I think in a 1v1, it maybe would be a better move than in a team game.
Yeah, the thing is, at this early stage, Weird Jokes has CC, has Slingers, has Pikeman. You can't really beat him in one go, right? You don't have siege yourself, you don't have upgrades. You go close, you'll be shot, so...
Yeah, having no upgrades makes the CC fire much stronger. And yeah, also having slingers actually allows you to camp them under the CC and reach the enemy skirmishers from distance.
Okay.
So okay, now it's going to get interesting.
In the meantime, Stockfish is just booming through the roof.
DSD?
Imagine if
Okay,
it-
actually, Felix X seems to agree that. Oh, he doesn't agree. Okay, he just went into formation. Still going to take the fight.
Is Vic helping? Vic is not helping. Vic is booming himself. And Vic has caught up with Stockfish. Okay. Okay, this will be a difficult situation for Felixis because even though he might be winning right at this point, he will not be able to retreat.
DSD?
He cannot retreat from all of these arrows. So he has to commit all of the units here.
Yep, fighting under the CC.
DSD?
Witchox maybe has garrisoned a bit too many units for my liking. I think those slingers would do more damage if he would ungarrison them from time to time. Felix X army is still not super low health, has lost about half its health points.
Vic is coming.
So yeah, Felix X kind of running out of targets now.
He's running away.
Which probably is the correct move. At this point, he had some decent fight, his population still ahead. Maybe time to save his units, although he might be chased by all those camels. 27 camels, they could pick off a lot of those damaged units, I think.
What's a bit worrying is that Mari cannot beat Victoria right now. If Victoria goes for a push, then Mari has to help Felixis. Then I don't think he can beat the combined force of Victoria and Weirdjokes right now.
Yeah,
Obviously, Felixis might have an advantage over just one Weirdjokes, but when Victoria comes, both of them become completely insignificant. And just right now, Weirdjokes is chasing Felixis into his space, so it's really not looking good.
Victoria is not going for an instant push though, it seems like he's going for cavalry by himself. What kind of cavalry is he making? Okay, skirmisher calf.
To just go P2 and make sword tag. Again,
Yep.
no defense against this 31 camels. You can't really shoot them with towers. That's something of these camels. They need to be nerfed in phase 1 and then gradually upgraded in later phases. Otherwise, in early game their rush is too OP, but in late game they're completely useless. And we don't really want that type of unit, so it's best to have camel upgrades.
Okay. Kind of cornered the camels now though, which will make him lose some, I guess. Other side just booming calmly.
Other side is boomers, which is good. What is Havran making? Havran is not making champions yet. Is he researching the tech? He has researched the tech.
To all the viewers, please keep in mind that there are awards which will give everyone 1 point who will get one of them. There is awards for the best rush, there's awards for the most creative strategy, and there's awards for MVP. And if you want to vote, if you're free to do so in the spec chat right now.
See how upgraded Victoria is. He is making arsenal the hero building and the fort right next to his CC. And in terms of military upgrades, we are seeing no military upgrades. I wonder why. Like, why are you not taking upgrades? Cavalry, he's making his Hyrcanian cavalry, which is Scaff, and he can siege, but he's already at full pop, so that's pretty useless.
Yeah, I guess Victoria was also maybe a bit distracted by his attempts to help Weird Jokes. Also,
Yeah,
you can see his wood line in the back is pretty inefficient.
He might be going for champion cavalry. He's researching that tech, and we have Stockfish pushing into Havran, and Borg is coming to help. Borg 90 archers and some melee. I'm not sure how good that is, but given the complex situation in Havran space, the archers might have an advantage over shorter range units like skirmishers.
What also is interesting is that Borg also agrees that archers should primarily be mixed with swordsmen, other than spearmen, who are the P1 unit Maurians have available. But I think Side had some pretty nice games where he used lots of swordsmen in combination with the archers, and Borg seems to agree on that strategy and goes for it himself. Okay, two towers captured in Havran space. That could be pretty annoying if they can be held. Although that doesn't seem to be certain, as Defcon is fighting under CC.
Defcon has too many women. He can delete some women and make more infantry.
On the other side, Irland's army is clashing with Borg. Let's see who is going to keep the upper hand here.
Does he have good position? Yes. All of the pikes are on the swords. We have equal numbers.
Borg's ranged units are more spread out though. I
Yes,
think
exactly. That's why
Stockfish
Stockfish
is trying to snipe, which makes his units walk forward. It's not super easy though, because the space is so crowded, right? So they cannot get into their position super fast.
Well, Stockfish has idols. Hero is not here. He's got 3 idle ramps. He could use these idle ramps to distract Borg and Havran. So this was bad play.
Yeah, he couldn't really make an impact on Havran right now, because Havran lost all his swords in the engagement with Defcon, so his CC would be very much in danger.
What do we have here? Weird Jokes and Victoria trying to attack Felix's with cavalry and archers. Felix's defended them. So Weird Jokes trying to capture tower. The Felix should get upgrade or just ditch it. Don't let him capture, otherwise it will be bad.
Okay, Irland retreats from his engagement with Borg, is down to 104 pop, which is not very much, I have to say, opposed to Borg, who is still at 167, so they might want to go for a counter push maybe, but I guess for now they will be happy with retaking the towers that have been captured by Defcon and which are right now preventing Havran from mining close to his CC. Luckily he has some other stone and metal mines he could use, but also he is pretty low in pop at just 112. So I would say things are still pretty balanced on that side.
We've got 2 people inside Felix space, so I would call this a serious push on Felix's. And Felix's has 82 infantry and 25 cavalry, so about 110 units to defend himself.
Mariano is also coming to help.
Mara is coming. Now the important thing is who has the better tech and who has better positions. Right now, obviously, Victoria's side and Weird Jokes have the better position because archers long distance spread out. But Mari seems to have more melee, which can beat these archers. Zero is saying Victoria has no upgrades, and that is kind of true, yes. So, So that's not helpful for him.
Indeed. And he should have much more upgrades than Murray, considering he had a much faster boom. Murray though has a lot of upgrades actually. Especially all the defensive upgrades, apart from the last ranged upgrades.
Mari really needs the last shield, and it's better if he can research the melee attack, because he's going to use melee units to hack rams and hack camels and hack archers. So
I think Felix tried to flank around for a moment to engage the camels, but also the archers will be eaten up by the skirmisher Cuff. So big losses for team number 1.
yeah, Felix is played well in being able to keep his eco and gather a new army. Also, his cavalry is dominating the archers. So
Yes, they kind of lag a melee, I think. The archers are just super bad against skirmisher Cuff. Maybe Victoria should have added skirmishers instead of archers.
so
Infantry
he should make
skirmishers?
swordcraft. Felix really needs swordcraft. Like he really needs to make some. He's got ram and he's got archers. It's maybe 20 archers and all of the archers will the enemy archers will be done for. So 20 sword calf and some gaff calf, then Big Trolley will be gone and Weird Joke's hammer will be gone. So yeah.
I agree here, that would be a pretty great addition. Now, Mare also is bringing some rams over. For defense, the other team only has their own rams. Ptolemy is not super great. Maybe Victoria would need to make some sword calf. And actually there's a raid by Defcon who is getting into Victoria's economy right now.
Yes, because Borg is spending time building more stuff at his base. He's got palace, he's got more barracks, temple, and siege workshop up. So clearly he's going for something in late game. But I have one suggestion for Mary, which is he can make some spear cavalry, and the spear cavalry will counter all of his camels and archers.
Spear cavalry, the technically, I guess, best counter, yeah.
Yeah, and the spear cavalry also quite strong against archers as well.
Yeah. Okay, Rich Oaks in very big trouble. 132 population is somewhere, I'm not even sure where it is, probably all garrisoned into buildings.
We have a ram fight here, so Victoria is using his rams to beat Mary's ram.
That was a pretty big deal, actually.
Yeah, this is 3 versus 1 situation, but Victoria must micro his ram properly.
Oh yeah, he has 2 rams left, so he should win the ram fight, but he didn't attack move on to
What was
Mara's
that?
ram.
What was that? Why are you missing this? Why are you missing this ram? What?
So yeah, slight miss micro actually by both players who are not super aware. I think Mara is a bit more aware. Victoria should really kill the ram if they want to give Rich Oaks a chance to survive. Here.
Okay, we are seeing the other side doing something. So Defcon has 2 rams on Harvard and CC. Stockfish has a new army. Borg has a new army. Harvard has a new army. But seems like Harvard is losing his CC.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gone. And using the CC, the instant gives
Man, what is Victoria doing? He really needs to kill Mach's ram. He had a lot of chances to do so, and every jokes otherwise is super helpless. And now he will even lose his rams. That was not a great play, I have to say. He really just would have needed to do like 2 clicks, and it would be a clear win by his side.
Okay, so this is GG, I think. This is GG.
Yeah, Weird Jokes is really cleaned up.
Yeah, see?
The other side is also not looking super great. Like they don't look like they will immediately be able
is
to push
pushing
the other
ahead.
side.
Borg is pushing ahead. Fish is injured and he's retreating, but he's still at full pop. Defcon is being shot by Borg, but I think I don't know. I don't think Borg has siege capability, but he should be able to wipe out Defcon's units at least.
Yeah.
He needs to retreat those archers. Archers need to shoot from a far distance and rain down arrows, not go into melee combat like this. So this was bad play by Borg, I guess. Defcon is kind of beating up the melee units of Borg, but he's retreating, which is bad. Do not retreat from archers, because if you retreat, they will shoot you for free. So, yeah, do not retreat from archers. In the instant he was retreating, he lost about 20 units, so that's one of the flaws of the game. No retreats allowed, that's one of the flaws.
The joint attack might actually work out, and Defcon has no fort. Havran has some siege, so actually this is maybe a small hope for team number 1 to make a comeback.
Yeah, but I don't think they can beat Defcon in time, because we've got Fish looking at Havran's new base, and also Defcon has so many buildings that they have to pass all of these small buildings bit by bit, and that will take a long time. Defcon is also not low on pop. Defcon is a full pop, so I think it's
Question is, will Victoria be able to hold for a long time?
by the looks of things, probably not. Where's Felicis? Felicis is cleaning up the last bits of red jokes. Okay. Victoria still has some upgrades. Why?
I have no idea. Maybe he's nervous.
So the only hope is maybe Havran and Borg can beat Defcon, but I don't think so, because we've got Fish and Defcon sandwiched them into a small region. So if Fish and Defcon can keep supplying units, then these two will be dead pretty soon.
Yeah, Borg's archers were engaged against pikes, and I think Borg didn't really snipe the slingers.
Yeah, see?
What about Havran's Cav? They're just spear Cav, they're not champions yet.
But Havran's Calf is successfully distracting Stockfish Pikeman, and that could make a difference, yes. Although a small one. Oh, 2 catapults shooting at... What is he shooting at? Shooting at some infantry. That's not nice. Borg's ram is stuck in the Pathfinder, so he can't do any damage. And I think Fish is going to win this fight.
Maybe. Borg
because
is starting to snipe now, so the fight starts to go a bit better for them, I think.
Yes, but do not underestimate this pikeman. They are very powerful, the pikeman. Also,
Okay, but-
Cleopatra is coming.
Just only while they are slingers behind. Slinger numbers down to 29. Cleopatra, of course, is a great hero. Improving attack repeat rate.
Yes, if Defcon and Fish lose units, they can supply themselves easily because of the geometry of this area. But for Borg and Havran, they have to pass through Fish first.
And Borg resigns as they see that they cannot win push on that side, and on the other side, of course, the loss of their team is only a matter of time. Also, Felixix went into Borg's space, attacking him from behind. Therefore, I think it's reasonable to resign and call GG.
I think if Weird Jokes maybe didn't do Camel Rush, but play properly, like properly boom, and then push with huge infantry, they might have stood a chance.
Could be. I don't know if we will have now Stockfish here for recap of the game.
We have Stockfish talking to Fprey now.
I will ask him. Oh, he was joking. Okay, never mind. Then maybe we can do a quick recap. What do you think were the critical moments in the game? And why did team number 2 win? Although initially some people thought team 1 is slightly stronger.
Yes, on paper maybe slightly stronger, but I think on both flanks they were failing. And on the Borg side, I'm not entirely sure what went wrong, but Stockfish was quite powerful in the last fight. And I think the issue is they went straight into Defcon space and they got themselves trapped between Defcon's barracks and the hill, which means they couldn't supply themselves properly. And that caused some problems, right? Because Defcon and Fish can supply themselves, but those two can't, so it's just wearing out their units gradually, and then it's GG.
Yeah, I mean, the unit spawning from Defcon's barracks really just entered the fight as soon as they spawned, right?
Exactly. Whereas for Havran and Borg, they have to move the units from barracks that are really far away, and they have to move through Stockfish's ranks. And Stockfish can maybe just snipe them using some kind of drift attack, and then, yeah, they don't get supplies inside, so it's GG.
Well, on the other side also Felixix did quite a good job to defend against the Camos, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe his infantry attack wasn't very successful and kind of backfired as he was chased back to his base. But still, he kept the population advantage over Weird Jokes despite being under heavy camel fire. Then another big factor, I guess, was that Victualia didn't do any military upgrades. He had a great boom and should have been theoretically much stronger than Mache. And if he was, maybe they would have won their first push. I wouldn't rule that out.
Yeah, it's just Felix is being able to defend that camel rush, and that's basically GG.
Well then, very well. I hope you enjoyed the stream and you had fun watching. No one voted for awards, which is sad. Come on, guys. Otherwise, I decide for myself. Maybe you can vote, Julius. Who do you think deserves which award?
Let me think. I mean, Felix did the most impressive defending job. That's for sure. In terms of booming, I have to give it to Stockfish. Who was the fastest there?
There's no boom award though. There's an MVP award, a creativity award, and a rush award.
Yeah, creativity. I don't see much creativity apart from Weird Jokes Camo.
That's the only creativity I can think of. Mm,
I guess. Rush-wise, maybe we can consider Felix 6. Maybe his his Cav could be considered a counter rush against weird jokes in some way.
yeah, but the thing is more of angry reaction, you know. He might have been angry about these camels and he just decided to counterattack. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Okay, so let's say weird jokes maybe chance for the creativity award. Then MVP would also be.
Who got the most kills? But I mean, in terms of pure numbers,
You know what I think I will do? I will give Rush to weird jokes. I will give creativity to Felix 6 for coming up with a nice defense which features different methods, such as using skirmisher health and towers as well. And infantry counter-attacking, he basically did everything that you can do if you get calf rushed heavily. And then MVP award maybe goes to Stockfish for having a great boom. And borderline winning his side in the end.
yeah, I think it's between Stockfish and Freddy Seas.
Also, maybe Mare Fricat could be in a consideration, but maybe his rush failed, so maybe not quite MVP level. Felix 6 could be maybe considered an MVP.
Who got the most kills?
Borg has the most kills in the game.
Then maybe
But,
Borg, because his archers was... He managed to defend off Stockfish once.
Okay, I'm yet undecided. I will take into account all your votes of Borg being MVP, with chokes, rushing, creativity, you're not quite sure. If you want to vote by yourselves, please go to Wildfire Games forum and you will find a forum thread in the section General Discussion, which is called Sunday Pro Games. You have to scroll a bit down, and if you want to vote, please leave your comment right there. I guess that's it then for now, as the game is over.
Yeah, there's another game happening, do you wanna come?
Alright, should we end the stream though then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, let's end the stream for now. We can later think about whether we want to do another stream also on the next game, maybe.